Hi everyone, happy Sunday. We're on our morning walk. This is the back road across the street from my house, and I haven't been this way in a while, but usually I go way down that way and there's like a little tunnel and another dirt road, and it's very nice. They cut all this grass down. It's usually as tall as that. So we're just walking. What's everyone up to today? I wanted to get my walk in early. It's going to be in the 80s again. Our neighbors came home, and we don't have to do the chickens this morning. I miss that. They go away a lot, so it's nice to be able to help out with the livestock and the farm animals. And Teddy's just having a grand old time on his walk. He looks forward to these walks, gets me moving. And somebody's stable over there. And this all used to be open land. A lot of this is still open land, but on the left, a lot of people built homes. But it's still very rural and very nice. I'm very lucky. I don't think there's horses in there anymore, but a lot of horse people. I don't have horses. I wish I could, but I'm not zoned for horses. And then we have this cul-de-sac, which none of these homes used to be here either. But hold on, buddy. Let me just get situated here. So we have this nice little area. I'm going to walk back down. My street's down there, and going to go home and clean out some drawers and do a little cleanup in the yard before it gets too hot. I mean, it's going to be like maybe 79, 80 today. That's not really hot, but I just want to get stuff done in the morning. Enjoying this beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I'm going to be doing an empties video soon, and stay tuned. Bye, everyone. Hi again. So I'm on another, I'm out of focus here. On another dirt road behind my house. That's where I came from, and here's where I'm going. And here's a neighbor's fig tree. My fig tree is all covered with figs, but sadly, come on, buddy, come on. Sadly, I do not get good figs. They're beautiful, but they're not edible. Anybody have any ideas about fig trees? I'm hearing that I need to plant another fig tree close to it so it fertilizes with a different variety. But it's sad, figs are expensive and people sell them, and I can't do anything with these figs because when they seem to be ripe and I pick them and I cut them open, they're green and weird inside. They never ripen properly. They're kind of, I don't know. So, and I have another couple offshoots of that fig tree growing, in my yard. So this is a dirt road that's behind my house, and I love walking here. I used to ride bikes with the kids when they were little. This is an unincorporated part of Rancho Road. This is Rancho Lane, so there's no street lights, no paving on the road. This is just decomposed granite that holds up pretty well in the rain. And I don't have street lights or curbs either, but I live on a paved road on the other side of this. So come on, bud. So we love walking here, and a lot of these homes, some of the homes have been redone, and some are just really old and very charming. And I love the open space. There's a lot of land back here still where people have not sold off their land. And it's just so charming. This used to be, this was a field where this gate used to be closed and there were sheep in here. So we would ride our bikes over here and visit the sheep. And whoever owns this land has not sold it off yet, thankfully. There's a lot of pepper trees around here, and of course, since I'm in Thousand Oaks, lots of oak trees. But I love this part of behind my house where I Where Mr. Squirrel. This is a huge, huge open field. There's an old barn in there, a couple real old buildings in there, and I just love this. But it's closed off, so we don't walk in there. We just walk by and look and reminisce about when my kids were little, and this back road hasn't changed much. There's another old building on this property, and just walking away. How was everyone's weekend? Yep, my daughter's friend lives on that house there. They have a horse. They just got a horse. They're learning about horsemanship and having a lot of fun. They walk their horse around the block, and we stop and visit. So you have to have half an acre, I believe, at least a quarter of an acre or half an acre in Thousand Oaks to be zoned for horses, and I'm not, but that's okay. If we chose to get a horse, I have plenty of choices from my neighbors. So we're just chugging along here. This is an open piece of land that we walk on sometimes and take a look at this beautiful, pristine view. There's a lot of bunnies and wildlife, and Teddy loves going on his walks. I make sure to check him. I wash his feet usually afterwards and check him for foxtails, because those are a problem here. But isn't this, I just love this. Somebody's got a compost pile going over there. Got some bunnies. I was trying to identify some of these plants the other day when I was walking, and this is something to stay away from. This is called gypsum weed, better known as deadly nightshade. So this flowers a certain time of the year. It's very pretty. Kind of looks like eggplant to me, but no. Deadly nightshade. Got some very tall mustard plants here. This is a cause for a lot of wildfires, so they usually cut a lot of this back. But we've got this open space. Got some bunnies running around over there. And just love it here. We don't go too far on this property. I think this is still open land, so I'm gonna go back now. Come on, buddy. Come on. So, this is probably not the most exciting video, but it gets me out, gets me behind the camera. And this used to be a pomegranate tree. I remember picking pomegranates from this tree, this poor tree that's kind of done, definitely done. But we had some wildfires a couple years ago and had to evacuate, but I don't remember there being any fires back here. Down the road, yes, but not here. It was very scary having to evacuate when you have literally 5 minutes to decide what you need versus what you want to take. And people just in this town driving around aimlessly looking for a motel or driving out of town to visit, to stay with family until it was safe for us to come back. We had first responders driving through our neighborhood with microphones yelling at everybody to get out, and the wildfires came very close to this neighborhood. Some people down the road lost their homes, and it was just, to come out at 2 a.m. to a wall of fire 2 or 3 blocks away was so, I'll never forget that. And having to grab some family photos and my important documents and a bag of clothes and go. So we had to be out of this neighborhood for 2 days, 1.5 days until they let us back in. But I had such good neighbors. I'm a lead in my neighborhood on Nextdoor, and just to check in with neighbors who like a couple who came back or who didn't leave, who were just checking on people's houses and monitoring the neighborhood. Come on, buddy. And it was just a comfort. So they made a lot of changes with Edison and with the power lines. As you can see, our power lines are still pretty old looking, but they're doing a lot of updating. And with the high winds that we have quite often in California, they have a lot of planned outages. When it's very hot and windy, they will turn off the power for like periods of time until, which we usually get notice. A lot of people have generators now in California to deal with that. But it's at least they're doing something about it. Edison and PG&E got in huge, horrible trouble for negligence with all of the not updated power equipment. Look at this beautiful honeysuckle. This thing goes on. I have a honeysuckle too. Okay, come on. All right. I didn't know there was a dog there, but that's okay. It kind of scared me. While we're looking at the honeysuckle. Come on, buddy. Let's not torment the dog, or however you want to look at it. Let's go. Anyhow, I appreciate all of you going on this walk with me. For those of you that have stayed on and not be like, yeah, well, this is boring. I wanted to show you guys this pretty shady area where we love to walk, but I'll do another clip and be back. Stay tuned. So back in the day in 1994, when I used to come out here to visit my girlfriend, my husband was on the road. I didn't have kids yet. He was a roadie, and he would travel for months at a time, and I would come on the weekends a lot and stay with her. And started driving around Thousand Oaks. I grew up in Burbank, California. Started driving around, and one day came up this street and fell in love with this area. This is an area called Conejo Oaks. There's thousands of oak trees. That's why it's called Thousand Oaks, but Conejo Oaks is this neighborhood's name. And this area, I don't know who owns this land, but this is protected. Nobody can build right here because of all of the oak trees. Come here. Come over here, honey. You're safe. Okay? Too many oak trees. Oak trees are protected. These are 300-year-old oaks, many of them, and so no one can build right here. And I love walking this particular street. Believe it or not, these trees are trimmed. This used to be even more of this beautiful archway of trees that hung over and made a tunnel, kind of like that tunnel in Ireland. I forget what it was called, but from Game of Thrones. That's what it reminded me of. Come on, let's get out of the way there. So I love walking here. This is around the corner from the dirt road I was just on. And it's just so peaceful and tranquil. And I fell in love with this neighborhood. And I went around with a realtor and found some homes around here. I wish I would have borrowed more money from my parents to buy a bigger home, but I love the home that we're in. I've been here since '94. There's people that have horses here and chickens and livestock, and it's just a beautiful, tranquil little neighborhood. It's quiet and just love it. Okay, we have to walk in a more urban area right now to get home, so I will be back later. Thank you. Happy Sunday.